We all are a product of our circumstance. But today, let us ask this crucial question to all of us, ourselves. Should we really be a victim of our circumstance? Should we really be a product of our circumstance? The answer is no. No matter you were born in a rich family or a poor family, no matter you were born in a rich country or a poor country, there is only one word which can still, level all of these, and that is productivity. Productivity is one such word which can change your 24 hours. What do you get every day? Can someone tell me in chat quickly? Welcome to the session, guys. My name is Shekhar Suman. I'm the CEO and Managing Director of BioTecNikans, and आप सभी का तहे दिल से स्वागत करता हूं इस productivity session में. Welcome Sampurna. Thank you Abhi Kumar for joining us live today. Please confirm in chat if you can hear me clearly. Good evening. Am I audible clearly? Yes? All right. So, productivity is one word which helps you bridge the gap between rich and poor. No, it's not money. It's how we utilize and master our 24 hours. Is this not the only thing which God has given constant for all of us? No matter you are born in a rich family, rich country, or a poor family in a poor country. आपसे आपके 24 घंटे कोई नहीं छीन सकता. Tell me, am I right or not? Yes, of course. Productivity helps us. It gives us the superpower to master our 24 hours. And if you really master your 24 hours, then you will never be a victim of your circumstance. You will never be a product of your circumstance. Instead, you will be a champion of your circumstance. You will be a student of your circumstance, and that's how you can achieve more in less time. Yes. कम समय में आप ज्यादा करना चाहते हो, कम समय में अगर आप ज्यादा अचीव करना चाहते हो, so then the practical tips, applied knowledge which I'm going to give you today is going to change your life. I'm sure the first session which we conducted under the Josh webinar series, you have attended it, and I've received numerous emails saying that they really felt good. So first of all, thank you so much for attending the first session. Today is the second session where we are going to talk about productivity. Now, whether you are writing any exam or whether you're working in a lab, whether you are a working professional or whether you are a student, this one word will change your life. So without wasting much time, guys, we will master productivity. Today, I'm here in front of you to introduce you to all these pointers, and I'm here to help you become super productive, because only a super productive person can achieve anything he wants in this world. Many people think that being productive is equal to being a robot, which is not the fact. Being productive means you'll have enough free time to do other things like your hobbies, which you want, and you'll have always time for yourself, right? Self-learning. So this is the agenda we are going to cover today. We're going to talk about productivity, our goal, why we are doing this. We are going to introduce you to the productivity equation, time scarcity myth, the motivation myth. Of course, we spoke about motivation last time, but how it is a myth we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the multitasking myth. Then we're going to also talk about Parkinsons Law and how it impacts your studies or whatever you do in your life. Pareto Principle, I'm sure you have heard of it. Newton's Law of Motion, how can you utilize in productivity? And Power of Habits, productive downtime, and the fun factor. So these are few pointers which I have come to you live with. Now, wherever you have any questions, stop me and ask me questions, but I have a lot of pointers to cover, so I'll be a little fast. However, if you do not understand, you can ask me to repeat. Is that a deal, guys? You can ask me to repeat if anywhere you don't understand, okay? And I'll try to cover it in both English and Hindi. So let me know which language you're comfortable in. I'll be speaking in that language more, okay? So starting with why productivity and why productivity 2.0. So success, is that not what we all want in life? Success? But actually, success is a work in progress. You can't just say that, okay, Mark Zuckerberg is successful, or Anil Ambani is successful, or Mukesh Ambani is successful, or Narendra Modi is successful. All of them are actually a work in progress. You, my dear friend, is a work in progress. You are already successful, but you are already learning new things. You're already championing your circumstances, and you are getting better at it. So yes, everybody, please tell me you want to speak in English or Hindi. I'll change my language accordingly. Okay, for now I'm speaking in English. So why productivity? Because we all want success, and success is nothing but a work in progress. Now, have you heard this word anytime in your life? When somebody asks you, how are you? The only answer, the default answer we get is, oh, I'm busy. I'm so busy. Is that right? Does that happen to you? Okay, English is fine. All right. Thank you so much. That makes my life easier. However, I'm open to speaking in Hindi as well. Okay. So how are you? The people, all of them will answer busy. Now, why busy? Everybody seems to be busy. Why is that? Why all of us are busy? Why are we busy? Anybody? Quickly tell me. Why are we busy? This is how our schedule looks like. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Every day looks like a busy day. I'll just move out of the screen so you can see. Does this not look like your life right now? Busy, busy, busy. It's doing something. We all are workaholics, studying or learning something, so we are basically very busy people, right? In fact, we are so busy that 2,000 people registered, and you can see how many people are live right now. So busy, correct? Now, if so many people are busy, then why do they have this sense of unachievement or non-achievement at the end of the day? Why do they get frustrated that they could not accomplish even a single task? And the reason is they could not be productive. So today I'm going to give you tips and tricks on that. Now, this is how our phone looks like. This is how our phone looks like. So we will have, okay, 37 people like your post, 489 emails has come, some breaking news, somebody died. Now it's 593 emails. And so your phone is constantly buzzing and exploding with newer notifications. Now you should know that social engineers, social scientists have designed this phone in such a way that this black slate is actually a black hole. So this black hole sucks in your time. So on the other hand, your schedule looks busy. On the other hand, this black hole keeps pinging us with newer notifications, right? Now, basically, we all are in our weekdays looking like this. On our weekends, we are, binging on Netflix and Amazon Prime. So basically what's happening, there is a tug of war. So what is a tug of war? Tug of war is in between busy bandwagon, which is our work, and infinity pool, which is our social media. So we keep scrolling, it never ends. Have you ever reached the last video of YouTube that it says that, okay, after this, there is no video? Or you go to Facebook and you keep scrolling and it says, okay, after this, there is no post. I'm sure you have seen that it never ends. So what is that? That is infinity pool. So there is a tug of war going on between these two. So on one hand, you want to be productive, but actually you end up being busy. And when you are free, these unlimited, bite-sized cheap dopamine, which is being released by this TikTok kind of social media, is eating our life. Is that not true, guys? Now, the problem of this tug of war is we always seem to be busy. And the reason is we are living our life in default mode. Now, what exactly is happening in default mode? So do you remember when you first time bought your phone, like the Android phone or the iPhone, when you bought for the first time? So do you remember, or the Windows, laptop which you bought? First time, what happened? First time, it had default wallpaper, default ringtone, right? Default everything. Basically, we all are living in the default mode, the way the society wants us to live. Remember, this world is very powerful. Circumstance. Okay, circumstance is a very powerful word. when we start living in a default mode, my friend says, let's go to this place, we'll go to that place. My friends or the social media says, let's sign this petition, we sign this petition. So basically, we are just living in default mode. But to come out of this default mode and become an achiever of tomorrow or today, we need to be productive. Do we agree on this? Right? So Sampurna says, I have installed Facebook, but now I'm getting addicted to YouTube. You can see that. So all these guys have been designed. Okay. Now, in fact, right now, while I am live trying to talk to you about productivity, below this video, there must be some song or something which will try to attract your attention. Right? What they're doing is they are making you live the default mode. They want you to be a victim of circumstance. Apni paristhiti, your situations. You're becoming a victim of your own situation. But who is creating those situations? These apps and all the work which is piled up around you. So I'm going to give you some very practical tips here. Okay. So what is my goal? Let me talk about my goal now. My goal is obviously to help all of you become much more productive, because only a productive student can learn more. Only a productive working professional can achieve more. Only a productive person can be the champion of tomorrow. And we always say that your success is our achievement. How would you become achiever of tomorrow if you are not productive? So that's our goal for today. Now, our one more goal is to identify 20% among you who is super productive. And we want to give away scholarships of up to 75%. Okay. Last time we had 100%, that is over now. So we still have 75%, 50%, and 25% scholarships to those people who want to prepare for the Josh batch. So I would request to pull up the teaser video for Josh batch. I hope you can hear me. So we're going to have the Josh batch starting 6th of June, and there'll be classes based on RAID technology, interactive, unlimited online classes, printed hard copy study materials, state-of-the-art online study portal, 24/7 chat support with class tests, monthly practice tests, computational biology, free internship, and of course, a lot of tips and tricks and strategies sessions with me. So you can just dial the toll-free number which is given on the screen, 1-800-1200-1818 or 080-5099-7000. These are the numbers which you can dial if you want to enroll for the Josh batch. So let's come back to now the topic of discussion today. So my goal is to help you become productive, no matter whatever you're pursuing in life. And for that, the first step we are going to take now is to learn the productivity equation. So what is the productivity equation? Please note down this equation if you have a pen and paper. If you don't have, please take a screenshot. So it says P is equal to O divided by T multiplied by F. Okay, have you noted this down, everybody? So, okay, there's a nice line from Marcus. He says, people who have no better purpose in life always end up procrastinating. Yes, very right. So if you have a purpose in life, your goal becomes important and you end up working harder to achieve. And if you're working hard, why not just be more productive and achieve more in less time, right? So please note down this. I'm just moving out of the screen as much as I can. Productivity equation is P is equal to O divided by T multiplied by F. Now what is P? P is obviously productivity. O is output, means the work done. It's like suppose you studied 2 chapters or 5 chapters. T is the time taken, right? So suppose you studied 5 chapters in 2 days. So okay, 5 by 2. Now what is F? F is fun. What is fun? Now you look at this. If you are studying but you're not enjoying, then actually you're not studying. You're just doing a job which is not helping you, because if you're not enjoying your studies, there's no point. So basically this gets multiplied. So when you enjoy whatever you're doing, your work, your productivity multiplies. Okay, so that is what Steve Jobs said long back, that love what you do what you love. Okay, or fall in love with whatever you do, right? So productivity is output divided by time multiplied by F, which is fun. So you need to have fun as well, right? Okay, so now we'll move on to the next example, which is of the plane. Now, suppose your life is a plane. Okay, so here is a plane. Your life is a plane. Okay, and you want to go from this destination this particular X place, okay, to a Y place. So basically you have two people who will help you. One is obviously the pilot, but if the plane is not in good condition, then it will not work. So you need an engineer too who will take care of the health of the plane. Your life is actually a story of plane, pilot, and engineer. So if you want to be productive, then your life is your plane. So here's your plane. The pilot is you, okay, and the engineer is also you. Now, what do I mean to say by that? Right? We mean to say here is, if you take care of your work, if you optimize your day, so as soon as you get up, plan your day and optimize your day. That's the job of the pilot who will drive the planes, right? So the plane is your work day. Say today is Tuesday or Wednesday. So today is Wednesday. What work you're going to do? And then the pilot, okay, which is you. So what exactly you're going to do? So the executioner is you. And at the end of the day, look at what all things you could achieve and what you missed and how can you optimize. That's the engineer, right? So plane, pilot, and engineer. That's what it does. So the plane example, all you have to do is remember that you are the plane and you are the pilot of your plane and you are the engineer who will optimize your plan. So remember, I told you in my last session about this, that you are the CEO of your life. So hire good habits and fire bad habits. That's exactly more or less the same thing here. So my question to you now is, which one you struggle the most? Do you struggle piloting your day, or do you struggle planning, which is the plane, or do you struggle optimizing your plan? So which one you find it more difficult? Quickly tell me in chat box, everybody. Quickly tell me, everybody, in chat box, right? Which one you struggle the most? The pilot, the plane, or the engineer? The pilot? Okay, so Priya says pilot. Okay, Sampurna says engineer. So you can see we all have small challenges here and there in some part of our plan. So the plane is nothing but the plan. The pilot is you who has to drive the plane to its destination, and the engineer is optimizing your plan. So here is an example which you should know, that if you optimize your plan by 1% every day, so every day you're improving your plan by 1%, at the end of 1 year, you will be 36 times better. Okay, 365 days, you will be 36 times better than what you were on 1st Jan. Okay, so this is a great insight and example for all of you. Now let's come back to the time scarcity myth. So remember, I told you that any moment if I ask you, how are you? You'll say, oh, don't ask me, I'm so busy today. In fact, any moment in time when people call you, you say, I'm busy, please call me later, right? So what is the time scarcity myth? We all end up saying that I don't have time. And many times we say this phrase. So how many times you use this phrase in a day? Please tell me in the chat box. How many times you say this phrase in your day? I'm sure at least once. Everybody does that. So time is what we want the most. Time is what we want the most, but we use the worst. Now, this is a saying by William Penn. He was a 17th century American politician, and he said this once, so I'm quoting him. Time is what we want the most, correct? And we end up wasting it the most. But are we doing it consciously? No, we are doing it subconsciously or unconsciously. People are making us do it, or the apps are making us do it. The idea here, the brain which we have to use here is, the logic which we have to use here is, we have to consciously change the way we utilize our time. So let's look at time. What controls our time, or who controls our time? So last time I showed you dumbbell, I said, okay, when you do this, your muscle grows here, correct? The same way, your time is just like a muscle. Okay, so the time usage, the more you use it efficiently, you will get better at it. Okay, so first day, suppose you decide that, okay, I'm going to do these 5 tasks. Okay, the more you do it, next day you will have more confidence that tomorrow I can do 6 tasks, 7 tasks, 10 tasks. Okay, so this is where you have to know this, that time is nothing but just like muscle. The more you will use, the better the muscle, biceps muscle becomes better, right? When you use the dumbbell, right? Same way it works here. The better productivity it is, the better you will be able to manage your time. So here is some phrases which you have to use Probably you can take a screenshot. I'll try to move out of the screen. So you have to train your brain. You should always never say, I don't have time. Stop saying that. Okay? Don't never say, I don't have time. Instead say, right now I have too many things on my priority list. So the moment you say, I have too many things on my priority list, you will remember that you need to have a priority list first of all. So every morning when you get up, make a priority list. These are the 4 things or 5 things or 3 things I want to achieve today. So the moment any new things comes up, you will not react to that circumstance. Instead, you will act on that circumstance. Next, so you start having a priority list and you start doing according to the priority list. The next is track every minute of your day. Whenever you're working, if you track every minute of the day, then you will know first 7 days. If you do, you will know, okay, where exactly I end up wasting my time, where exactly I'm losing out on my time. And the third is check your mobile screen. I've always said in many of my videos, there are so many apps to check which app you're using the most, delete it or mute its notification, because these apps are designed in such a way. In fact, BioTecNikans app we have designed in the other way so that it does not become very intrusive, it doesn't disturb you. But most of the apps has been designed to disturb you, because the more you watch them, the more money they make, not just through ads, through investors' money. So that's their science. All you have to do is you have to follow these 3 to 4 steps. Okay. So now moving on to the next in the agenda list, which is motivation myth. So last time, if you remember, what did I say? I said, okay, if you are motivated, then only you can achieve. But what if many a times when you are doing a regular job, like a daily job, like studying is a daily job, what if you could program your mind so that you don't need motivation all the time to achieve anything in your life? So that is where I have come up with this newer things, which is, okay, in an ideal world means perfect, like everything is perfect. So whatever you think you will be able to do. Suppose you want to go to gym today, so you'll be able to do. So you thought that you want to do exercise, the result will be you will go to the gym, right? So this is the perfect world. Now tell me what happens in the not so perfect world, everybody. In reality, what happens? In reality, what happens? In reality, do we really go to the gym? No. We just procrastinate. We just postpone. We just say, okay, tomorrow, maybe day after, right? I know so many people who will go to the gym and pay the annual fees. Okay. They'll pay the annual fee on 1st of January. And after that, they will never see the face of the gym. Those are the people from whom the gyms make a lot of money. But jokes apart, let's come back. Are we living in an ideal world? No. We are living in a non-ideal world. So what really happens in a non-ideal world? We have to solve a lot of things. The first thing is focus. Whenever you want to achieve something, you have to focus on the action. So what's the action? What do you want to do? Say study. So you want to study. How can you make it fun factor? How can you enjoy it? So focus and enjoy it. Suppose you're studying biochemistry. Enjoy biochemistry. How can you enjoy biochemistry? Maybe choose the best book. Maybe choose the best teacher. In the middle of this, enjoy it while making notes. If you didn't understand, repeat. Approach your mentor who will make the subject easier for you. Make it fun. Whatever it is, make it fun, because if you're not making it fun, sooner or later you're going to leave that subject and then you will find that subject harder to study. The next, reward. So first is focus, next is reward. Focus on outcome. What will happen if I finish molecular biology? So the outcome is I'll be able to solve all the questions of molecular biology. So make it more enjoyable and rewarding. Maybe, so you say to yourself, if today I'm able to finish molecular biology, let me reward myself with a pizza, right? So now that pizza combined with your mental status, okay, if I finish this, then only I'm going to do that. So that rewarding will help you enjoy it even more. And each time you reward yourself, you become better. Now, make the consequences of inaction more painful. Okay. Now, how can you do that? How can you do that? So what I suggest you is, suppose you have the consequence that today you could not finish this particular topic. So make it painful, that if I could not finish this topic today, I'm going to maybe not eat this chocolate, or not have only one chapati, whatever or maybe you if you it is the exercise, you say that you will pay 100 rupees each time to your sibling if you do not exercise or if you do not finish this chapter. So when you make it painful, okay, you will remember that you are never ever you're never going to miss your targets. You will always make things happen. You will make the consequences of inaction painful. So the fourth one now is shorten. So now shorten the feedback loop. So feedback loop is what? So generally, whenever we study, we always want someone to judge us or check on us. So shorten that feedback loop. Solve some questions. If you are able to solve, that will lead to instant gratification. Now that instant gratification will lead to further clarity. Make the outcome very clear. If your goals are very clear, like Marcus said in the beginning, if your goals are very clear, then definitely you are going to achieve it. So clarity of purpose is very important. Okay. Clarity of your goal, clarity of your purpose is very, very important. Any moment in time, if you are not clear with your goals, you will not be having the right kind of motivation and willpower to push yourself towards it. So these are the 4 to 5 steps which I have designed for you. Now, professionalism. Now, here is something which is very, very important. Each time you miss out, tell yourself that you are not being a professional. Okay. Each time you miss out on your daily goals or monthly goals, whatever, always say that, okay, this is not something which I'm doing right. This is not professional. So what is a professional, or who is a professional? Somebody who remains indifferent to emotional, okay, situational, circumstantial scenarios and achieves results. Now, I'm not saying that this means you become a robot. No, it only means that no matter whatever happens in your life, let the hell break loose, still you will remain indifferent to emotional, situational, circumstantial scenarios and achieve great results. Now, I have trained a lot of people in BioTecnika, my students as well as our growth partners who work with us. So, and that's the result why we get great results. And that's the reason why we get great results in BioTecnika, because BioTecnika is handled by professionals, not just great teachers, but professionals who are used to achieve results, and they're indifferent to circumstantial, situational, and emotional situations and scenarios. And only by practicing discipline, you can make yourself a professional. So these are the pointers. I hope you'll take a screenshot. This is how you can become a professional. And the moment you are a professional, you don't need motivation to move forward. Now we'll come to the next, which is the multitasking myth. So let me put this across to you. What exactly is multitasking? Like, I'm talking to you, I'm typing something, in the middle of this, I'm having some food, maybe I'm talking to my friend also. When we do that, our brain actually was never programmed for multitasking. So when you try to do multitasking, always some attention residue remains. So you will not be aware what you're doing and what you should be doing. Okay, you will miss out on your goals the moment you start doing multitasking. So actually, at BioTecnika, we always tell the students multitasking is a myth. Never ever try to do multitasking. It will leave some kind of attention residue in your mind, and that leads to stress. And what happens when stress happens? You stop enjoying your work. And when you don't enjoy your work, then there's no point in working when you don't enjoy your work, right? So when you're studying, you should enjoy your studies. So don't try to study 2-3 topics at the same time. Study one, stick to it, and focus. Now coming to the next, which is a flow state. Now, what is a flow state? Has it ever happened to you that you were studying biochemistry from Leninger and you didn't realize कि सुबह से शाम कब होगी, when it became evening from morning? Has it ever happened to you? I'm sure for some subject it would have happened to you, right? Tell me the subject which really grabs your attention and you don't even realize that time went by when time flew, right? So that's a flow state. What exactly you have to achieve while studying or working is the flow state. Now, what happens in the flow state? Maximum enjoyment. And when you have maximum enjoyment, then you'll have maximum work satisfaction or study satisfaction. So, okay, organic chemistry for Aditi, mol bio for Deepa, for Setu, it is evolution. So you can see when you start studying that topic, it's so interesting that you forget time. That is, my dear friend, the real study. But when you're doing multitasking, you'll never be able to achieve flow state. When you don't achieve the flow state, you will never enjoy the studies, or you will never enjoy whatever you're working on. And that will lead to lesser work satisfaction. And when you have lesser work satisfaction, all you will do is take the mobile out of pocket, you start tapping on some apps and start doing something which will further deviate you from your plan for today. So that's the second point. Now, the third point quickly on this is the stretch zone. Now, what I do to myself is I always create artificial deadlines. For example, before I made this PowerPoint, I created an artificial deadline for myself that my PowerPoint should be ready before yesterday morning 5 a.m. So before yesterday morning 5 a.m. it was ready. Okay. And then, so what happened after that is, because of this artificial deadline, I got enough time to revise, improvise, and innovate on this PowerPoint. The same thing will happen to you. Whenever you are studying or whenever you're working on anything, when you create an artificial deadline, you always rush to finish that. Okay. That way, you will be able to finish faster, accomplish better, and innovate in your free time as well. Right? So, okay. So Sunanda says, mol biogenetics you enjoy. Great. If we add a hobby to our routine like painting, yes, Sumani, that's a right approach. Whatever you enjoy, if you do together, so that's called clubbing. Okay, that's called clubbing. But remember, you should not, suppose you're studying biochemistry, don't start drawing a princess. Instead, club it, like the cycle, the biochemistry cycle, whatever. So draw or paint something related to what you're studying. That will be really helpful. So now we'll move to the next part of the agenda, which is the Parkinson's Law. So I'm sure many of you would have not heard of this particular law. I'm trying to, make it much easier for you. So I'll just put it in front of you with the help of this picture so that you remember. So his name is C. Northcote Parkinson, and he said the Parkinson's Law. He says, work expands to fill the time we allocate to it. So work is nothing but gaseous. So suppose this is a gas chamber. Okay. Now, if I give only this much space, so the gas will fill only this much space. But if I remove this particular, barrier, the gas will take the entire space, right? The same way, work expands to fill the time we allocate to it. Suppose I allocate 5 hours for this PowerPoint, I'll take 5 hours. Suppose I allocate 1 hour, I'll be able to finish in 1 hour. Basic thing which you have to keep in mind is how much time you should allocate so that it is not overdoing it or too much. In the meanwhile, it should maintain the quality of your studies. For example, you can revise the entire unit 1 of CSIR Net in 1 day also. But will that be justice? No. Instead, you allocate 5 days for it or 7 days for it and you finish it with quality. So basically, you have to allocate the right time for it. Okay, don't allocate less time or too much time. That way, your speed reduces or increases, but the quality goes down. So the idea here is to improve on your quality. Next, we will be talking about the Pareto Principle. And in the beginning of this session itself, somebody already wrote the Pareto Principle. Can you tell me what is the Pareto Principle? Anybody? Anybody quickly tell me what is the Pareto Principle? It's a 80-20 rule. So it says that 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. So all you have to do is find which 20%. Many people miss out on this Pareto Principle. They think that it's too complicated, but actually all you have to do is note down these 2 lines. The first one says, identify 20% of your time when you are most productive. So for me, I'm most productive in the morning. 4 o'clock onwards, I'm very productive, right? So I always choose that time for doing all the complicated and complex tasks for myself. So you choose which is the time, which is that 20% time of the day when you are most productive, right? And that is where you study the most complicated or tough subjects for yourself. The second line says, identify which 20% of the conditions leads to 80% of your productivity. So maybe when nobody's around, maybe when there is no TV around, maybe when all your friends are sleeping, right? So those are the conditions. Maybe when the apps are not sending any live notifications, right? That's this person is live, that person is live. So that 20% you have to identify. And then what you have to do? Expand that 20%. Okay. So say in the morning 4 to 6, you are most productive. I'm just giving you an example. It could be night 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock for you. So suppose you are most productive in the morning 4 to 6. So what if we make it say 4 to 7? So 1 hour extra I can add. In the meanwhile, now let me identify which is the 20% of the conditions which is leading to 80% of productivity. It could be the mobile phone is away. So let me put the mobile phone in charge and forget about it, right? So these are the few steps which you have to take. Use Pareto Principle smartly. Don't get confused. Actually, Pareto Principle helps you do excellent analysis of your weaknesses as well as your strength. So that's all about your Pareto Principle. I hope this slide was clear for everyone. If it is not, let me know. I'll repeat for you. Now on the agenda, we have Newton's law of motion. So what is the first law of motion? Anybody? Do you remember physics? Physics, do you remember? Newton's law of motion? What is the Newton's law of motion? Newton's law of motion. Yes, Paramita, these methods are really scientific, very useful. Many of them I have implemented in my own life personally, and I can recommend you that these are going to work like a charm. Okay, so we have the answer. Inertia, law of inertia, object remains in rest until force is applied. Okay, is that so? Yes, every object will remain at rest or in uniform motion in a straight line unless compelled to change its state by the action of external force. Exactly, this is the line which is hurting you or benefiting you in your life. Okay, so every object will remain at rest. So every work, let's replace some words. Okay, every work which you plan to do, maybe studies, maybe exercise, whatever, every work which you plan to do, you will be able to do unless in a straight line. So you'll be able to do continuously. Straight line is what? Continuous dots, right? So straight line is nothing but continuous dots, right? Unless compelled to change by external circumstance. What is that external circumstance? That you have to eliminate. If you are able to reduce that external circumstance, you can be most productive. Yes. Now, remember in the first session of Josh, I told you that I'm not here to cook the food and put in your mouth. I'm here to provoke thoughts which will help you cook the food your own way. These pointers today are sincerely in that direction. So let's move ahead. Challenges in productivity, right? Difficulty in getting started. Does this happen to you? Like, okay, I have to start unit 1. No, leave it today. I'll not start tomorrow. Today, Muhuratam is not there. Muhurat is not there. Tomorrow we'll start, right? So this happens. So how do you do that? We'll discuss now. Now, second point, divide your task into minor task and one mega priority task. So let's say, have you heard of this word momentum? Momentum, have you heard of it? Anybody? So when you start studying, you are already in a momentum, right? So when you are in a momentum, what happens? You will continue studying, right? So always start studying with something which interests you, which you love, okay? Maybe it is a storybook, maybe something which you love. So that should be your minor task for the day, so that you gain the momentum slowly. And then you switch to the mega task which you plan to do today. So let's say you love biochemistry, start with some revision of biochemistry, 5 minutes. So now that you are already in momentum, then you switch to the task which you hate. It could be maybe botany, maybe something, right? Some other subject. So that's all about your challenges in productivity. How do you do it? Now, the third point is do not allow little things to pile up. Now, whether it is emotions, whether it is hurt, or whether it is work, do not allow it to pile up. You know what happens when we get hurt? Small things, get put in the household, and then that all gets piled up, and then suddenly one day we all blast, right? Why that happens? Because we allow it to pile up. The same with the work. Small work, like, okay, I have to sharpen my pencil, or maybe I have to change the refill of my pen, or maybe I need to, really, bind my book so that it doesn't get torn off. So these are small things. It all gets piled up, and one day we just, sit thinking, how do you finish this? And because of that, you're not able to start and gain momentum on your real task. So do not allow little things to pile up. I'll give you an example of that and how to solve that. Don't worry. So how do you allow little things not to pile up? Follow the 2-minute rule. If you can finish the task in 2 minutes, do it then and there itself. Do not allow it to pile up. So suppose, let's say, you want to study, right? So you want to study tomorrow at 6 o'clock, right? So what do? You make up your table, the table on which you're going to study, and put the pen, pencil, eraser, books, notes, everything today only at 9 p.m. So that tomorrow, as soon as you wake up, you can sooner the faster you can get onto your study table and switch and get onto the momentum. But what is spoiling your study momentum is all this unorganized table. Maybe the clothes are piled up there. Maybe there's no place to sit. The chair somebody took away already. So if you plan your morning schedule now itself at night, morning you will be faster into the momentum, right? For example, you want to exercise in the morning. So what do? You plan your day before that. Keep your track pant, keep your shoes. As soon as you wake up, you can wear it and get going. So momentum is everything. Newton's first law of motion is everything which you have to achieve. Isn't that interesting that we studied all these laws and we never applied to your life? Yeah, that's the fun. That's a fun factor, that we don't look at life the way we should. Now coming to 5-minute rule. So before you start any difficult task, always gain inertia, some momentum you have to gain. So that is what I said. Start with something small, easy, but which interests you. And then switch to something which is tough, difficult, but you have to do today. That way you will be able to achieve better. Isn't that great? 2-minute rule, do it then and there. 5-minute rule to gain inertia. So practical applied knowledge to help you study. I'm not cooking food and putting it in your mouth. I'm not telling what is oxidative photophosphorylation. I'm telling you how to study out oxidative photophosphorylation. Isn't that great? Remember, your strategy is what makes you. Don't become a victim or a product of your circumstance. Become a strategist of your life. Don't live your life in default mode. Apply these principles which will help you get better. Now, identify a keystone habit. Now, once you get started, it is so much easy to get going, right? So what is one thing which can be your keystone habit, right? For example, for me to, hit the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning, the keystone habit for me is wear the shoes. Because to wear the shoes, first I need to change into my track pants and of course wear the shoes. So that's my keystone habit, wear the shoes. Once I have done it, there's no other thing which I can do. I have to walk, because after putting the shoes, I cannot go back to bed. Even if I'm sleepy, I have to walk. So that's where you have to find that keystone habit. So suppose you want to get onto your studies. So what is that keystone habit? So for that, it could be, okay, we take the pen, start writing whatever we remember of yesterday. So what do you do that? That's a keystone habit. That way you will be able to hack your brain. You will be able to gain energy, inertia, and momentum together and faster. And that way you can study faster. You can do anything in life faster and better. So now coming to the last part, which is power of habits. So we all have studied habits. We all know habits, right? Habits are atomic in nature. In fact, many of the pointers here are taken from the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. Ever if you get time in your life, please read that book. That book is going to change your life. Let's talk about the power of habits. So habits are atomic in nature. They are very small, but they're the fundamental units of productivity, right? So, we all have this habit that if my friend says something, I cannot say no, right? Habit. If I wake up in the morning, the first thing I'll do is brushing. Habit. Some people wake up at 5 o'clock. Some people don't even wake up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Habit. Some people go for, bathing as soon as they get up. Some people, take 4 hours to go for bathing. Habit. Some people go for puja after bathing. Some people don't. Habit. Everything is habit, right? So this round circle where you are moving, your life is moving around your habits. But these habits are very, very small. It's so small that you cannot even notice. In fact, many of you would have switched windows while watching this video and would have checked, koi naya message to nahi aaya WhatsApp pe? Has my friend updated a new status? What is that? Habit. So all that habits has to make a difference. Now, tiny changes in your habit leads to a huge difference. Now, basically, all of us are living in a default mode, so our habits are in a default mode. Now, what is default human reaction to anything? We just react. Suppose I'm standing here, a cockroach flies and sits on me. So what will be my reaction? I'll just move away, or I'll just try to move it away. So what is happening to us is we are reacting according to the circumstance. Even though without realizing that cockroach cannot bite me, I have to just take it and throw it away. So all you have to do is stop living your life in default mode, stop reacting to circumstances, stop reacting to your friends' plans, start realizing that your plans matter. And when you execute your plans, you are better in peace of mind, and peace of mind leads to happiness. And if you're happy, is that not what you want? So when something becomes a habit, you don't need willpower, you don't need motivation to do it. For example, do you need to watch a motivational video in the morning to brush your teeth? No, you don't. It's just a habit, right? So when something becomes a habit, you will be able to do things better even without motivation, because this is automation, right? Let's take up an example. Every day, you receive the BioTecNikans email newsletter on time, without fail, because somebody has made that a habit for himself or herself that she will never miss out. So what is happening is, when you have habit, you don't need willpower, you don't need any sort of motivation, and then you are better organized to execute difficult plans of your life. Running a company, or running a lab, or maybe running the government. Very tough tasks. But how they are able to do it? Habit. So here are some habit examples I wish to put in front of you. Not bringing phone to your bed. So when you don't bring the phone to your bed, what happens? The melatonin, this bright screen hits your face, melatonin doesn't get released in your body, so you don't get sleep sooner. It leads to insomnia after 10, 20 years, but we don't realize. But anyways, so not bringing phone to your bed, that can be a habit. Wearing gym clothes 30 minutes before the workout begins, so you don't postpone. Or, ordering grocery stocks 1 day in advance before the stocks ends up. So what is this? These are habits. These are examples. Like, as soon as you wake up, you switch into the work mode or the study mode. All this is habit. When you have habits, you become better. But how about giving a public commitment? Okay. How about giving a public commitment? Will that help you further achieve your goals? Yes. I know a person who created an automatic tweet for himself. Okay. So he mentioned in the tweet will go as soon as he wakes up, that I'm awake. If I'm not, I'll give you $25. Why they did that? He made a public commitment that I'll wake up in the morning early, right? So let us create a public commitment. Okay. Let us do that right now in chat. Let's create a public commitment that whatever we will do, we will not waste time and we will be productive from today. Can we have a public commitment? Just type it in the chat. If you think that you should be productive, just type it in the chat that from today, I'll not waste time and I will work on my productivity skills. Can we have that? Yes, of course. So when you do that, when you create a public commitment and people know you that you're going to do that, that helps you make habits faster. For example, you go to your mother and say, mom, today I'm going to finish molecular biology, right? So by evening, definitely your mom will ask, did you finish? So when you have made a public commitment, you end up doing it faster, better, right? So we have some public commitments coming in. I'll do a 30 minutes exercise daily. Good. Yes, sir. I'll be productive from today. Wonderful, Paramita. Setu, I'll wake up at 4 o'clock from tomorrow. Awesome, Setu. Aditi, from today, I'll not waste time and I'll be productive. Super. So see, we made a productive relationship via this video today. We have made a public commitment that we are going to develop habits which will help us become productive. Now, let us look at power of social contracts. So, for example, if you have a social contract, like suppose you have a wife or a boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, or mother or father, you create a social contract with them and say that if I'm not able to study, say, unit 1 in suppose 7 days or 14 days, whatever days, I will, donate 100 rupees or say 1,000 rupees to charity. Right? Or to something. You create a social contract. Many people even sign that contract, okay? And they keep it. Keep that 1,000 rupees separately. Say that, okay, I have a social contract. If I do not finish this chapter in these many days, I'm going to donate 1,000 rupees to charity or donate it to my friend. So now your friend will be after you asking, have you finished? Because they want the 1,000 rupees. This social contract is an amazing thing. It helps you achieve better. Are we not here to achieve? Yes, we are. So why not have a social contract where we say that I'm going to finish or revise the syllabus of CSIRNet in the next 2 months. If I don't, I'll donate 1,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees, whatever, for a cause. That kind of productivity, that kind of social contracts further pushes you towards productivity. So each time your friend comes, hey, let's go to a restaurant, you'll be like, no, wait, I will lose 1,000 rupees if I go because I have this social contract with my mom. Right? Or maybe you're walking out, your mom will say, 1,000 rupees yaad hai na? I'll take that if you miss out on this goal. That will help you get better. So without wasting much time, we have 8 more minutes left. Reinforce your identity as a productive person. So when you reinforce your identity as a productive person, okay, you will not waste time. For example, just now in chat, you all said that you will not waste time and you're going to be a productive person, right? So this has gone into your subconscious mind already today. So the moment you will, you'll realize that you're wasting time, you will immediately switch out of it and say, no, I'm a productive person. How can I waste time on Instagram? Let me go back and study. So you have to reinforce your identity as a productive person. To your friends, to your colleagues, to your mentors, say that I'm going to be very productive this month. So now we'll have an exercise. Quickly tell me 3 things that will boost your productivity habit. What 3 things will boost my productivity if I make them a habit? So tell me in the chat box, what is the 3 things that will boost your productivity if you make them a habit? So quickly, let's have the exercise, guys. We have very less time now. We'll try to close as fast as possible. Okay, quickly. Okay, so Amit wants the PowerPoint of this live stream to be provided. I'll check, Amit, if that's possible. We'll definitely give the PowerPoint. I want you to achieve. If having this PPT with you helps you achieve, please do it. We'll try to do that for you. Okay, getting small things done for Priya. Okay, so 3 things I want. 3 things which will boost your productivity, right? And then the question is, how can you how can you stick to those habits? For example, if I have to lose calorie, I should avoid ice cream. So how should I stick to the habit of not opening Zomato app and not ordering the ice cream? So maybe delete the Zomato app. So this is the kind of correlation you have in both the circles. Okay, both the circles around this side and this side are interrelated. Okay, what 3 things will boost my productivity if I make them a habit? Right, I'll increase my study time to 2 more additional hours. Okay, so what exactly will help you stick to that habit? Think about that. Waking up earlier. Okay, right, cleaning the study space, sit 10 minutes before study time, meditation daily. Okay, so how would you make sure that you stick to the meditation schedule? So these are the small things you have to think and write it down, right? Public statement. Okay, study and exercise. Wonderful. I can see we have some wonderful and amazing productive people attending this session today. So here is a salute to all of you. Thank you so much for watching this live stream. So I'll quickly switch to the next exercise now, next part, which is productivity downtime, which is very important. So productivity downtime is what? Generally, sometimes we're like, okay, बहुत काम हो गया, let's switch the work off and switch to something interesting. Maybe Netflix, maybe Instagram Reels. But here is the catch. Those apps are designed to kill time. So what do you do generally when you get a break from work? You will scroll Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. Nowadays, TikTok is banned, something else. So you start doing that. Instead, follow this formula. Instead, reflect. Means look at what all you have achieved in the morning. Think how can you get better and become the engineer of the day, engineer of your plane, and optimize. So I follow this HLG formula. Okay. You have to become the pilot and the engineer in the productive downtime. When you are finished with work, look at the HLG roadmap. So what is that? Highlight what is one thing that is still pending and you can prioritize and get it done from the list of to-dos you decided in the morning. Okay. Now remove all those which you have ticked off. Whichever you have finished, just tick them off. Okay, so this is done, this is done, this is done. So you can use any of these two apps. One is called as Todoist, another is any.do. Any of these apps you can use. These are free apps. It's very nice. And then be grateful to yourself and the people around you who helped you achieve all these things. So that way what happens is, I'll just zoom out. Okay. So that way what happens is you are thankful, you're happy, and you have finished tasks. So you have confidence, and then you have the next task, which you already know. This way you will be even more productive. So reflect, think, and optimize. RTO. Reflect, think, optimize. How? HLG. Highlight, let go of, and be grateful. So this is the practical roadmap here. Now let us look at a bit of exercise. What are the chunks of the day when you feel there is a downtime? And how can you utilize it? In the meanwhile, let me quickly read the chats. So Paramita has, it's all because of you, sir. You're very good motivators. As soon as I hear your webinar, I get motivated to complete a topic from my studies. I think that is a commitment to complete. Awesome. Thank you so much, Paramita. I'm really humbled and delighted to know this. If I'm able to help you in your studies by 1% also, my life is worth. Thank you so much for that compliment. Swarna Lakshmi, to make a to-do list, wake up early in the morning and make consequences of inaction. Okay, wonderful. So Sunanda says, nicely you highlighted and told us where we need to improve. Thank you, sir. Already have a to-do list app and planner. Thanks to BioTecNikans. Awesome. So I'm sure, Sunanda, you are getting benefited. So here's the exercise for all of you. What is the time in the day when you feel like, okay, bahut kaam ho gaya and I should just pause? Okay, what are the chunks of the day when you feel there is a downtime and how can you utilize it? So what is the time you feel bahut kaam ho gaya? I'm done with a lot of work. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for the excellent feedback I'm getting. Paras, Amit, Hemlata, and Paras Hakim. Thank you. So what is the productive downtime according to you? I'll tell you, for me, it's 9 o'clock. So basically around 9 o'clock, I'm done with my dinner, and then I start looking at my to-do list, what all things I had, what all things I could finish, and what is the thing which is still pending, which I can move to the next day's priority. So that really helps. Okay, so it's for Aditi, it's 1 to 3 p.m. Yes, that's one unproductive time. Yeah, 6 o'clock. Yes, sometimes in the late afternoon, we feel like, bahut kaam ho gaya, we're done with this, and we just want to relax, right? So that time, you focus on the RTO formula and the HLG formula. Okay, reflect, think, and optimize. Reflect, think, and optimize, and then follow the HLG formula. Okay, so here it is: highlight, let go of, and be grateful. So this brings me to the last part, which multiplies your productivity, right? The most productive person in this world ever, according to me, was Steve Jobs. He was so productive and he was so focused that he gave the world what nobody could ever give: a touchscreen phone. How he did it in such a small span of time? He did it by optimizing, by taking lesser decisions for things which hardly matters and focusing on those things which matters. So, and how he did it? He enjoyed whatever he did. So let's look at the fun factor. The fun factor. What can you do to enjoy your work? What can you do to enjoy your studies? Okay, we are out of time. I will take hardly 1 or 2 minutes, guys. I know you are out of time as well. Hold on for 2 more minutes while I finish this, okay? Just hold on for 2 minutes. So if you are currently not enjoying the situation you are right now, try to figure out a way to make it more fun. For example, somebody said, if you enjoy painting, do it. If you enjoy humming a song, do it. If you enjoy, scribbling, do it while you're studying. So whatever you do, try to figure out the way to make it much more fun. Because when it is much more fun, you're more productive. Your productivity multiplies. If you remember, productivity is equal to work done, which is actually output, divided by time, okay, and then multiplied by the fun factor, right? So O by T multiplied by F. So that's exactly what we have it here, right? So you need to find out what you enjoy. What's the point of becoming productive if we are not enjoying it, right? This is not something which we all want. If we enjoy, then we are happy. If we are happy, we are peaceful. We are peaceful, then only we can focus on much more creative things. So here is something which I want to highlight. Automate, delegate, and optimize. Automate whatever you can. For example, if you wash your clothes with hand, automate it, put it in a washing machine. Delegate, like you cook food for yourself, maybe delegate, hire somebody who can cook for you. Optimize whatever is important for you. ADO, automate, delegate, and optimize. That's how you can be productive as at the same time enjoy. So optimize whatever you enjoy. ADO. So that's about this slide. Now, working is a privilege or studying is a privilege. Have you ever, thought like, oh, I hate studying. Like you say, I hate preparing for this exam. Or sometimes you feel like, I hate doing this, right? If you start saying that, your subconscious mind, it seeps in that you hate it. So when you hate it, you will never enjoy it. So instead of saying that I have to do this, for example, I have to talk to all of you in live today in the webinar. Instead, I say that it's a great privilege to talk to all of you in this webinar. Positive set of mind. Working is a privilege. Studying is a privilege. Whatever you're doing is a privilege. So when you have a positive set of mind, instead of saying, I have to do this, say, I get to do this. I'm so grateful to the people around me that I have got a chance to do this. They're allowing me to do this, right? So when you have that, you'll enjoy better. Happiness leads to success. Happiness is what leads to success. Do you agree? Can you guys agree with me? Am I right or wrong? Happiness is what leads to success. If you're not happy, what's the point of working? What's the point of studying, right? So happiness leads to success, but success does not equal happiness. Suppose you are very successful, but you have to sacrifice everything. Will you be happy? Probably not. Enjoyment equals success. Whatever you did, if you enjoyed thoroughly studying biochemistry, if you enjoyed thoroughly studying the methods of microbiology, whatever applications of microbiology, you enjoyed it. That's success. Exam results are bound to come. You are bound to grow in your life, but enjoyment equals success. But don't mistake it by, smoking or drinking is not enjoyment. That's just a distraction. That, reduces your productivity. Success does not equal happiness. Productivity, my dear friend, is your superpower. Like we say, right? When you exercise, the muscles grow up and you become strong. It's the same way. When you have productivity, that's your superpower. That's something which will really bridge the gap in between rich and poor. Productivity is the word which will bridge the gap in between a person who is born in an unlucky family or a medium middle class or a lower middle class or a poor class and still achieve more in life, right? So today, I want to request and urge all of you, use the tips shared in today's session, utilize it, implement it, and go teach someone about productivity. Because that's how you will learn. When you teach someone, you learn. So, go ahead, train your friend, okay, and tell them about productivity and how it can be a, superpower for them as well. Last point, multitasking is sin. Zyada kaam ek saath karna paap hai. Okay, multitasking is a sin. Can you guys type in the chat quickly? Multitasking is sin. People who multitask will eventually burn out sooner than who doesn't. I achieve so many things in a day. Today I have done so many things, but I still have energy to do more because I don't have burnout. Why I don't have burnout? Because I don't multitask. I do one thing at a time, not two things, not three things, not even a one and a half thing also. If I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you. I'm not looking even anywhere. I'm just talking to only you. So multitasking is a sin. Everybody, please type in chat. Multitasking is a sin. So the next point, planning is your birthright. A bad plan is still better than a no plan. So have a plan. Okay. And you don't need a plan B. Just stick to plan A. Just create a plan A, stick to it. Planning is your birthright. A bad plan is still better, much better than a no plan. So do planning every day. And plan, don't not just your day or month or a year. Plan your happiness, plan your vacations, plan your health. When you plan your health, when you plan your vacations, you stay away from cardiac diseases, you stay away from diabetes, you stay away from lifestyle diseases. At the same time, your happiness multiplies. You'll get more time with your loved ones because you planned that. Right? So if somebody thinks that planning makes you a robot, no, planning helps you get free time to spend with your loved ones. Otherwise, you'll keep coming and saying, yeah, I'm busy. So that won't happen if you plan, right? So let's highlight now. Highlight, focus, repeat, and resolve. Highlight, focus, repeat, and resolve. This is the formula we have. Highlight the task in the morning which are on a priority for you. Focus and get into the flow. Repeat until it's done and resolve, and then only move to the next task. Okay, I'll just quickly move out of the screen. You can take a screenshot. Okay, highlight task which are on a priority, focus and get into the flow, repeat until it's done, and resolve, and then only move to the next task. Very simple. It's a formula. It's applied knowledge, my dear friend. I'm not cooking biochemistry and putting it in your mouth like other channels. All I'm doing is telling you what's right for you. I'm telling you that you have the capacity, capability, desire, and ability to achieve success. But you need to put all your applied knowledge into practice. Today, whatever you learned, you have to put that into practice. So highlight, laser focus, repeat. Reach your laser focus where you enjoy studying and keep energizing that with your some hobby or something which you love or you like doing along with that. Maybe, scribbling or painting or whatever about that particular topic. Okay. So highlight, laser, and reflect. That's how it works. So this is my last slide of the day, guys. Okay. Here it is. In life, you will remember moments. You don't remember days. Do you remember that on 17th of April, what you did? You don't remember that, right? The only thing you'll remember in life is moments. Like, yeah, my friend came and I had good time with him, right? So make your day full of moments. Happiness, productivity, and valuable memories. If you combine all these three, then you will have a life which you can look back and cherish. Otherwise, you will get into the rat race of competitive exams. You'll get into the rat race of work culture and capitalist economy. And you'll keep regretting, oh my God, what kind of life I'm living? I hate it. Instead, all you have to do is you have to remember your moments. And how do you do that? Happiness only comes when you achieve, and achievement only comes when you're productive. And if you are not productive, you'll not be free to create valuable memories with your loved ones. See the relation here. Happiness only comes when you're productive, when you achieve. And valuable memories only comes when you are free to create valuable memories. And that's how you can look back and cherish your life. I want your life to be a lovely life, a life full of achievements. So thank you so much for attending this session today. It was wonderful talking to all of you. I hope I didn't take much of your time. It's already 9 minutes extra. So my apologies for those extra 9 minutes. And thank you so much for sticking with the webinar. And I will see you in our next session, which is on time management, which is the next extension of productivity. So this is what we wanted to discuss today. Our batches for Josh batch is starting from 6th of June. Okay, which is like 5 days later. If you feel that you want to, learn more about productivity, motivation, and all your concepts at the same time and become a better human being, evolve into a better student, then come learn with us, because that's where learning happens. BioTecNika, where your achievement becomes our success. We proudly say that your success is our achievement. And I would like to invite all of you. So some of you may get an email, not all of you. Some of you who have been very active in chat today, I will send a personal email, and you will be offered some scholarships and some goodies, free goodies for all of you. There's no feedback from today. It will come in the third session only. So this is it for now. Thank you so much for attending. It was wonderful interacting with all of you. I'll see you in our next one where we'll manage time for you. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye. Good night.